You know that feeling, right? You're sitting in a big meeting, the company's grand strategy is up on the screen, lots of buzzwords, big ambitions, and you walk out thinking, okay, that sounds great, but what am I actually supposed to do on Monday? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We're diving into a framework that turns those big, lofty goals into clear, concrete actions for your team.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It is the question on so many people's minds. There's this massive gap between the strategy decided in the boardroom and the actual work that has to get done. This explainer, it's all about building a bridge over that gap.
So to really see how this all plays out in the real world, let's follow a story. Let's meet Joe. He's a sharp product development manager, and he's just been handed a huge, high-stakes project. But as he finds out pretty quick, just having a project, well, that's not the same thing as having clarity.
Now, on paper, this seems pretty straightforward. The company's losing ground to competitors who are just cheaper. So the big idea is, let's innovate faster and for less money by opening a new R&D center in Asia. The pressure is definitely on.
So Joe gets the team together for an offsite, to get everyone pumped up and aligned. But right after his big presentation, a senior technician puts up his hand and asks this devastatingly simple question. And that's the moment Joe realizes, oh no, my team is totally lost.
And this is why they were lost. The team had been fed a steady diet of this stuff, corporate jargon. Shareholder value sounds important, but it doesn't tell a single person what they should be working on come Tuesday morning. The real strategy was just buried under this mountain of buzzwords.
So staring into this pit of confusion, Joe finds a way out. He discovers this incredibly powerful 5-step process called the strategy briefing. It was developed by a guy named Stephen Bungay, and it's actually adapted from military planning techniques. It is designed for one thing, creating absolute clarity and turning strategy into real action.
All right, step 1 is all about stating your intent. And no, this is not just a to-do list. It's about being crystal clear on 2 things. What the team has to do, that's the task, and just as critical, why it matters. That's the purpose. That why is the secret sauce. It gives the work meaning and helps everyone make better decisions on their own.
And just look at the difference here. The team's first attempt at an intent was build a world-class facility. What does that even mean? It's a vague wish. But their final intent? It's sharp, it's urgent, and it's tied directly to the business problem. Accelerate delivery to halt market share erosion. Now that is a mission. Everyone knows exactly what winning looks like.
So how do you get to an intent that's that sharp? Well, you need context. And that's step 2. You have to look 2 levels up. Joe didn't just think about his own boss's goals. He went higher, to his boss's boss. He needed to see how his team's little piece of the puzzle fit into the much, much bigger corporate picture.
And here's what he found. The entire company's big goal was to transform itself through superior service. Okay. And 1 level down, the technology group's job was to support that by creating a product line that was easy to service. All of a sudden, Joe's project wasn't just about saving money. It was a key part of this huge service transformation. That context, that was the missing link.
Step 3 is about setting your measures. Now, think of these less like rigid targets you have to hit and more like a dashboard in a car. They just tell you if you're on track. In fact, Joe even promised his team he would go back and renegotiate their official targets so they actually matched what truly mattered for the mission.
So the team came up with 3 simple, powerful metrics for their dashboard. Number 1, stop the market share decline. That's the ultimate goal, right? Number 2, deliver products on time and on budget. And number 3, cut costs. These 3 things gave them a really clear, constant view of how they were doing. Okay, so you have your intent, you have your measures. Step 4 is defining the actual tasks. This is where you break the mission down into concrete pieces of work. But here's the crucial part. You have to identify the one single task that is the most important one. The one thing that if it fails, the whole mission fails. They call this the main effort. For Joe's team, the main effort became crystal clear. Yeah, cutting cost was important, supporting existing products was important, but nothing mattered more than getting those new products developed faster. If they failed at that, nothing else mattered. This focus is huge because when things get crazy, everyone knows exactly where to put their energy. All right, the final step, step 5, sounds a little weird at first. It's about defining your boundaries. Now, this isn't about making a list of all your worries and complaints. It's about setting the clear, hard lines, like your budget or quality standards, that the team can't cross. Because, paradoxically, when you have clear boundaries, You actually create more freedom within them. Look at the team's first try. It wasn't a list of boundaries. It was just a list of worries. But their final list, totally different. They defined actionable limits, product quality standards they couldn't go below, and product cost budgets they couldn't go over. Those are the lines in the sand. And inside those lines, the team had total freedom to innovate.
And this is just such a massive insight for any manager. Joe had a breakthrough. He realized his job wasn't to micromanage every little task. His real job was to manage the boundaries, to fight for resources, to clarify the rules, and to protect the team from distractions. His job was to empower them to get the mission done.
Now, here's where this gets really powerful. This whole process, it's not just a one-and-done thing for a single team. The strategy briefing is designed to cascade, to flow down through an entire organization, creating this incredible chain of linked intents.
And here's the beautifully simple idea that makes it all work. Your what, your main task, becomes your direct report's why. Think about that. Their entire purpose is to accomplish your task. It creates this perfect, unbreakable link from the top all the way to the bottom.
Let's make this super concrete. Joe's main effort, his what, was to accelerate product delivery. So for the person on his team responsible for figuring out which products to focus on, their new intent becomes to identify the critical products in order to accelerate their delivery. See? The link is direct, it's clear, and it makes sure everyone is pulling in the exact same direction.
So when you do all this, what's the big payoff? What's the ultimate outcome? Well, it's about achieving two things that most of the time feel like they're complete opposites: alignment and autonomy.
This right here, this is the holy grail of management. What you get are teams that are perfectly aligned with the big company's strategy. Everybody's rowing in the same direction. But at the same time, those teams are highly autonomous. They're empowered to use their own creativity and expertise to solve problems and get the job done, without a manager breathing down their neck.
And hey, if you're thinking this is just the latest management fad of the month, think again. This whole idea, what they call mission command or intent-based leadership, it has a track record of over 150 years. Its roots go all the way back to the 19th century Prussian army, and it's standard practice in modern militaries today. It is literally battle-tested.
So we'll leave you with this one question to think about. Your company has a strategy, for sure, but does your team, do they have a real blueprint for action? Do they truly know their intent, both the what and the why? Because at the end of the day, having a strategy is one thing, but turning it into focused daily action, well, that's everything.